G'day everybody, my name is Lyle and welcome back to the 50-yard line for our wrapping up of college football for week 6 from a, shall we say, a nothing week on paper to a week that's kind of resulted in fall from graces, shall we say. So a big week. Welcome back, Chris, our roving reporter. Welcome back to you for this week's show.
Well, good evening, Lyle.
Interesting week of football, shall I say?
Yeah. What were we saying a week ago about the week 6 slate? We were like, okay, there's a couple of nice games in here. Like we got Vandy and Alabama. Does Alabama get their redemption?
That's right.
Miami and Florida State still look pretty good. Looked a lot less good than it would have had Virginia not beaten Florida State the week before.
Well, yes. Yes.
But the rest of the slate, I mean, with 8 top 25s on a bye last week.
Yes.
We were looking at that schedule. We were like,
it's a little light. It was definitely a little light on paper.
It was a little light. But
yeah.
And then we get to Saturday and we're all going, holy bleep, what the hell just happened?
It was crazy. Some of the games we haven't even kind of skipped over them because we thought obviously the outcome would have been, we know the outcome. We know the outcome. And then you get halfway through the game and you go, what is happening? What is happening?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
So where do we start with the recap of week 6? Do we start with the redemption or do we dive straight into the ridiculous?
Let's start off with the ridiculous. Let's dive
into the ridiculous.
let's start with a broken team. A broken team.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
This is completely the fault of your Oregon Ducks. Your Ducks officially have broken Penn State. Okay.
Yes.
We thought we did. I don't even think we said word one about that game last Tuesday.
No, we didn't say
not
anything.
Word one in an hour and 20 minutes on 50-yard line. We didn't say a word of Penn State and UCLA.
No.
I mean, we talked a lot about Penn State and Oregon. Absolutely,
yes.
We spent a lot of time on that, but. Yep. We did not think anything of the Penn State UCLA game. We both were thinking, okay, this is a get-right game. It's a one-game losing streak for Penn State.
That's right.
They're going to go out to UCLA. They're going to enjoy the nice weather. They're going to be playing in front of 47 people at the Rose Bowl, and 45 of them are Penn State fans. And Penn State's going to fly back east with a nice 40-point win.
That's right. I don't know what happened.
Wrong answer.
But UCLA's got arguably the worst record for this season. They've got a new quarterback out there. We all know the story, Nico.
Yes.
But then Penn State go in and Nico looked like a 5-star quarterback.
Nico Iamaleava.
Yep.
Well, for one game, he certainly did. Yeah. Penn State ranked number 7 in the country.
Ooh.
Goes into UCLA. And listen, UCLA, they had cleaned out some coaches, okay?
Yes.
I mean, they had a new offensive coordinator calling plays for the first time, Jerry Neuheisel, Rick Neuheisel's kid.
Yep.
And Rick Neuheisel was in the studio for CBS working the game that on Saturday afternoon. And there was a great reaction shot of him when that game ended that they aired on the post game on CBS. It was really cool to see how much he enjoyed seeing his kid pull that upset as the offensive coordinator there at UCLA.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what, UCLA played like a team that was basically saying, F it.
Yeah.
We're going to do everything. We're going to pull out every trick we can. And they immediately get the ball to start the game, march it down the field, get a touchdown, and then they roll out an onside kick.
Yeah.
and recover it,
Yes.
and then take it down the field and kick a field goal. They're up 10-0 before Penn State touched the ball on Saturday.
Yeah.
So just an unbelievable start for them, and that is it. Here's another stat that's even more incredible that makes the start for UCLA and the entire game look more amazing for them. UCLA, they were 0-4 coming in. Okay, 4 games. Let me do the math here.
Yeah.
4 games is 60 minutes per game. That is 240 minutes of football. 240 times 60, that is 14,400 seconds of football in the first 4 games. UCLA, do you know how many of those 14,400 seconds UCLA had led?
None?
Ding, 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 ding. They had led for precisely 0 seconds out of 14,400 in the first 4 games of the season. They led 10-0 and never trailed. They never trailed in the entire freaking game.
That's a crazy stat.
They were up 17-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of figure, okay, the way the third quarter started for Penn State.
Yeah.
You thought, okay, Penn State, they got punched in the mouth. Franklin's going to take him back in the locker room, read him the riot act, tear a couple of strips off them, maybe tear a new what in them, and chew about 10 pounds off their hind parts. And they were going to come out and take control of the game, and they tried to. Touchdown to start the third quarter, get the ball right back. They get a touchdown pass from Allard to Dinkins. Then they score on a blocked punt, and they're within 6, 27-21. And you're thinking at that moment of the blocked punt, touchdown, okay, this is where Penn State takes control.
Yeah, that's right.
The dream for UCLA dies. It was a nice game. They played a hell of a game. Punched Penn State in the mouth, put the fear of God into them, but Penn State's going to take control and win this thing. And UCLA, 4.5-minute drive. Nico with a 1-yard touchdown run. They're up 34-21. They trade back and forth, and ultimately the scoring ends when when UCLA takes a intentional safety in the dying seconds to make it 42-37. But wow, I'm still blown away by the fact that happened, and the fact that I jokingly called Nico the $1 million wannabe because I don't think he actually got the $1 million from UCLA.
No.
And B, I don't want to get sued by WWE for taking the $1 million brand name. Trying to use that in here. I just don't want them suing me over Ted DiBiase's nickname.
Yeah, that's right.
But I mean, Nico, after looking as awful as he had for the first 4 games, goes out and actually looks decent.
Yeah, decent.
17 of 24, 166 yards. The passing numbers great. Did throw 2 touchdown passes. Yeah. But on the ground, oh my goodness. How about 16 carries for $128 and 3
touchdowns?
He's responsible for 5 touchdowns for UCLA against the number 7 team in the country.
Yes.
So
now you got to ask yourself: is that the redemption for UCLA? Is that them turning their season around? Even though they're 1-4, but can they salvage anything from this season?
Yeah, does that start something for them? I mean, let's look at their schedule. They're at Michigan State this week.
Yeah.
Then they host Maryland. They've got a trip to Bloomington. They got to play Indiana. They got to go on the road to Ohio State, and of course their game against USC.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can get to 6 wins with the hole they dug themselves.
Yeah, it's but as I keep saying, you never know until it's the day. You never know.
Can they
until
grab
it's the day.
Can they grab 2 or 3 more wins? Yeah, they probably can grab 2 or 3 wins.
Yes.
Out of the remainder of the schedule. I mean, really, I look at there's at 3 games off the top of my head that I would say, yeah, they're going to lose. They're going to lose badly.
Oh yeah.
And maybe a couple of more in there.
Yeah.
That could get ugly.
Yes.
But yeah, there's a couple 3 possible wins in there for them. To get 5 more wins, to get to 6, and get bowl eligible, probably a bridge too far with the start they had this year. But the fact that the fact that they beat Penn State, a national title contender, preseason number 2 in the country, and built on what Oregon started smashing the week before.
Yes.
They UCLA continued the deconstruction of Penn State. That's one of those moments that you hang a hat on for 2025 for UCLA. In a season of very few highlights, that will be the big one.
Yes. So then, as we know, Penn State fell from ranked number 7 to out of the 25 completely. So that is a massive fall. A massive fall.
That is, I mean, the stats that came out from that game, regarding Penn State. I mean, the fact that they were a top 10 team. Yeah. This was the first time an AP top 10 team had been beaten by a team that was 0-4 or worse since BYU lost to UTEP at the Sun Bowl back in October of 1985 down in El Paso.
Dang, that's a few years ago.
40 years. So, by one measurement, that loss by Penn State on Saturday is the worst upset in 40 years. Yes. By that measure.
Yes. So does that then spur on Penn State to win every game from there, or does that completely break them and their morale is completely gone? I guess we'll find out when they play next.
We're going to find out. They've got Northwestern at home this weekend.
Yeah.
Then they do the trip to Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City.
Yeah.
Where once again national title dreams go to die.
That's right.
The Penn State still may have the dream. The dream is in tatters. Quite honestly, their national title hopes. They are hooked up to machines. The priest is in the room administering last rites, and the coroner is filling out the toe tap.
That's right.
It may be officially done when they go to Kinnick on the 18th.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, by the way, if going to Kinnick isn't bad enough, how about the next week they got to go, or how about 2 weeks later they got to go to Columbus?
That's right. And then they've got Indiana and then after that. Oh my God.
And then they got Indiana after that. Welcome to your hell, Penn State.
That's right. Dang. That's
if you thought going to UCLA and losing in front of 47 people at the Rose Bowl was your 3-game stretch coming up after this Northwestern game. Maybe start planning for 2026.
That's it. The horseshoe is just gonna chew them up and spit them out. They won't know what hit them. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That one could get very ugly. By the way, Ohio State's been playing this year, their defense is giving up an average of 5 points per game.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough to play against. I tell you what.
Yeah, if you get a touchdown against Ohio State this year, keep the football because it doesn't happen often.
That's right. I told you they're going to be hard to beat this year, Ohio. They're just playing with that. It just feels like they want it that back to back more than anybody. So
Oh,
they're going to be tough to
I-
beat
I
for
said-
sure.
yeah, Saturday night they played Minnesota. Minnesota had a 3-0 lead.
Yeah,
And that was it for Minnesota, 42-3.
that's it.
My God, it was like Ohio State was personally offended by the fact that Minnesota scored first.
I know. So it's going to be interesting to see how Penn State picks themselves up from that 2 losses in a row.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting for sure. So the other.
Oh, if they.
What were you gonna say?
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens this week. They're hosting Northwestern.
Yeah.
If the Nerds beat Penn State, they are making a bowl game.
No.
Write it down. They will not go bowling this year.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to be
if
tough.
the Nerds from Evanston beat them.
So, talk about the other big loss, who are now an unranked team, is Texas and Arch Manning.
Yeah, our preseason number 1
yes,
is now no longer a top 25 team. So
yeah,
after week 6, we have lost our preseason number 1 and our preseason number 2. They have fallen all the way out of the polls.
Yes. Has that ever happened before? 1 and 2 go unranked in the same week?
I have the preseason 1 and 2 going unranked the same week. That would take a lot more research than I have the staff for.
Yeah, that's right. It's just
in a 90-year history of the AP poll, maybe. It's a rare thing. Listen, the Penn State fall from grace. That is the biggest one I can think of since Michigan's famous fall from 4 to out after losing to App State week 1 in 2007.
Oof. Yeah.
That is the 7 to out is the biggest one I can think of.
Yes.
That in fact, it's the biggest one I can think of that didn't involve the preseason poll.
Yeah. Because even when we got on air today, I had said, that's the biggest fall that I've ever seen teams fall. I thought maybe they might be down towards the end of the AP rankings, but we've got such good teams coming in at the moment now, like, Memphis and Iowa State and Arizona State, who aren't losing games at the moment. So, there's just so much competition in the rankings this year. I think it's just excellent. So if you lose, that's it. You're out,
Yeah, and you take too many, you take bad losses.
Yep.
You will be properly punished.
Yep.
And a loss to UCLA, that is a bad loss.
That's a bad
loss to Florida, that is a bad loss.
Yes.
The way Florida has been this year.
Yep.
And that's what Texas found.
Yep.
I thought the loss to Florida for Texas was slightly less bad than the Penn State abject capitulation to UCLA was.
Yeah.
So I thought there was a chance that Texas might hang in
might
there
just hang on
at
but
23 to 25.
Yeah.
But the pollster said, yeah.
I mean,
we'll kick 'em out.
Memphis is 6-0. You have a team. I
Memphis
know,
is 6-0.
obviously, strength of schedule and everything else like that. But again, you've got to reward a 6-0 team, surely.
Yeah, and you got South Florida at 4-1, and they've got to win against Florida, which Texas doesn't.
Yeah. Florida
So,
State's
if you-
hanging on by their fingernails at the moment. They're 3-2, so it's
With back-to-back losses, but
so
their losses, let's be honest, their losses are a lot better
than losing
than
to UCLA.
Penn State's than certainly Penn State's losses, and both of their losses are better than one of Texas's losses.
Yeah.
So Florida State wound up being the team that just hung in there.
Yeah, that's right.
But just that entire game for Texas, that was another game we were looking at and going, no, this isn't happening. This is not happening. And it was another case of Florida came out and punched Texas in the mouth.
Yep.
Got a touchdown their first drive. They're up 7-0. They're up 10-0 after the first quarter. Texas gets a touchdown to start the second, but Florida stayed in control and they led wire to wire. I mean, they had a 15-point lead at the end of three. Texas could muster one late touchdown, but that wasn't enough, and they wind up losing by 8, 29-21. And the questions have to start. Do you start Arch Manning Saturday in Dallas at the Cotton Bowl in Red River? Because you're playing the number 5 team in the country, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Arch hit the game Saturday. Let me pull up his stats.
So he had 16 out of 29, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions though, as well.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few number of sacks on Arch as well. So but I said before we came on live that we're kind of looking at Arch as like almost like a senior player, who's been there for years. Whereas we're not looking at him as, I know his stats aren't that good, but we're not looking at him as a true rookie. So maybe this year is a bit of a write-off, and then we start looking at him as a proper, quarterback next year. I don't know. Are we looking at him with through glasses that are quite tough at the moment? Because obviously he does carry that name, that Manning name. So we are expecting quite a lot from him. But, as you said, before, they kept him under wraps for 2 years. They haven't played him really. They're starting him as, first-time starter. And then obviously with the Heisman hype and everything around him as well too. So
the Heisman hype.
Yes.
The Heisman hype, the preseason number 1 hype.
Yeah.
I really think that Texas did a disservice to Arch Manning. I will scream this from the mountaintops. Yeah. His numbers have not been great this year. He's completing 57% of his passes.
Yeah.
Let me see the whole stat line here. Yeah, and we're talking about 57% of his stats, of his completions.
Yeah.
Averaging 170 yards a game. I mean, that's against the AP top 25. I mean, total 60% completion percentage. 1,151 yards. 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
But, 7 of those touchdowns came against San Jose State and Sam Houston State. He went 7 touchdowns, 1 interception in those 2 games. I mean, even the game against UTEP, he was awful. 11-25 for 114, a touchdown and a pick.
Yeah.
That was the alarm bell game.
Yeah, I think so.
For Arch Manning.
Yeah.
But I think that Texas did him a complete disservice.
Yeah.
Because they're bringing him in to be the starter this year after putting him in bubble wrap for 2 years.
Yeah.
And not allowing him to get high leverage experience. Now, granted, they had a quality starting quarterback in Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a tough decision to make. But what the hell are you doing with him in practice?
Yeah, that's the thing too. Yes.
Because if anything, he's sitting there behind Ewers and learning.
Yeah.
And learning from the coaching staff. He's sitting in meetings.
Yeah.
He's watching film. And, at least getting to be around the experience. He looks completely overwhelmed in high leverage situations. Okay. A lot of his passes, you said it in the, before we came on, there are passes that he can throw into a bucket from 50 yards.
Yep. Yep.
He's that accurate.
Yep.
And there are other times he can't throw the ball into the ocean standing on the end of the pier.
It's that consistency.
He has a lot of bad misses. Yeah,
his consistency is terrible.
But his first 2 years, all he got to do pretty much was come in low pressure situations.
Yeah.
He did get a couple of starts, against FCS competition or Group of Five teams.
Yeah.
The only time he actually came in against a Power Four team, he never threw the ball.
No, he would run it.
They were always calling design run plays
Yeah.
for him when he would come in off the bench for a play.
Yeah.
And that is a complete disservice when you're expecting him to be the man starting the 2025 season.
Yes. Yeah.
So Texas has basically created the situation that they're in, where they're out of the top 25, they're out of the playoff conversation.
Yeah.
Their playoff hopes are in the same spot that Penn State's is. Now, Texas is in a little bit better situation, just slightly, because they only have one conference loss.
Yes.
There is still a path for them to get to the SEC championship game and backdoor their way into the playoff.
Yeah.
But they absolutely have to win out.
Yes.
One more loss, their playoff hopes are dead and buried this year. And their schedule,
it doesn't get any easier. That's for sure. So they've got Oklahoma coming up this weekend, and then Kentucky, MS State, Vanderbilt, Georgia, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. There might be a few that they can win, but there's definitely going to be some that they're really going to struggle against.
There are definitely wins in this schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pick three of them off the top of my. I can pick two of them off the top of my head: Arkansas and Kentucky, Mississippi State probably. But
Oklahoma,
the ranked teams that you got left. Oklahoma is going to be tough, and that's where I will go back to my original question.
Yeah.
Do you, as Texas, consider bringing in the backup? Because remember, Arch late in the game Saturday had to leave for a play. Yeah, and they brought their backup in, Matthew Caldwell, in off the bench.
Yeah, that's right.
And all he did was throw a 26-yard, a 26-yard completion.
Yeah.
So, do you, as Texas, get him prepped this week and trot him out to start Red River and put Arch Manning on the bench?
That's a tough call. That's a tough call. And if you do bench him, what's that saying to Arch as well? How much does that then affect his whole season as well? It's a tough call. I definitely wouldn't want to make it.
His whole season and quite honestly his whole future at Texas.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to bench him for and honestly, if you think Caldwell can play and has earned himself to start Saturday, you absolutely start him. I don't know much about it.
No.
Okay.
No,
he's a trainer. He came in out of the portal.
Yeah.
He is a senior. Where the hell did he play last year?
I think even if Arch starts, I guess it just depends how that game then continues if you pull him at a certain time as well. Just because he starts, it doesn't mean he's going to finish the game as well. So
how short of a hook does he have?
Yes.
Caldwell last year he played for Troy.
Okay. Yeah.
Decent number, 63% completion, 1,600 yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Limited playing time this year for Texas, but 7 of 10, 75 yards in his limited action. At this point for Texas, does it really make any difference whether you start Caldwell or whether you start Manning?
Yeah.
You're going against the number 6 team in the country. It's going to be a firm favorite against you.
Yes.
Does it really matter? Do you start Caldwell maybe to spark something? Try to spark something in your team.
Yes.
Because it might be a case of inside the locker room.
Yeah.
Great, Arch is going to start here. Yeah,
Well, that's
and
true too.
versus
Yeah,
versus ooh, Caldwell's going to start. Oh, we gotta play up for this kid. We gotta
yeah,
play up for this guy.
yes,
And maybe might be a psychological thing. I don't know. Uh,
yeah,
but I think the Texas coaching staff, they got to at least give serious consideration to it.
yeah.
To
No, that's the thing. Do you only
just
6 games and you're already that conversation of are you going to start him again? It's a dire situation in
well,
Texas, that's for sure.
it absolutely is. And let's be honest.
Yeah.
The other side of this coin is if you start Caldwell and bench Manning, how quickly does Manning go into the portal?
Ooh, that's the other thing too.
That's the other thing. That is another thing that Texas has to think about.
Yeah.
I'm throwing ideas out here. Stream of consciousness, random
Yes.
stuff I'm throwing out here.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that has been popping into my head. You've got to think about what is the consequence of benching Manning. Does he hang around? Does Caldwell, if Caldwell has a great game against Oklahoma and, God forbid, wins that game, there ain't no way he's not
that's it.
back on the bench the following week.
Exactly.
Now if he goes out, throws 4 picks, okay, you go back to Manning the following week. You haven't lost any more.
No.
Any more ground than you already have. By trying that.
Yeah.
But the alternative is, he goes out, throws 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and either beats Oklahoma or loses a close against Oklahoma. Well, then now all of a sudden you got a massive quarterback controversy in Austin, and that quarterback controversy could have an end result of Arch Manning in the portal.
And going in the portal could end up 2 ways. Obviously, you've got the good end, like Carson down in Miami, which has obviously worked out for him down there. Or you could end up with Nico, who wherever Arch goes could just be a bad decision on his behalf. So it's a tough decision. I guess it comes down to what happens in this game and who they're going to start and what happens with Arch. And then I think you hit on a good point there. What's happening in practice as well? What kind of runs are they making him do? What kind of practice? It's like he doesn't seem to respond to that pressure. I've seen the highlights of that game, and he's just getting caught up in the pocket. He's getting fairly regular sacks as well. So obviously that comes down to the O-line as well. But there's that
obviously
awareness.
Obviously he's getting first team reps this year, but what the hell have they been doing with him for the past 2 years he's been in the program?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You're planning on him being the man.
Yeah.
You got to prep him like he's going to be the man.
Exactly. Preseason, that's what it should have been. So,
it's the last couple of years.
Yes. Yeah.
He should have been getting at least some first team reps. I would obviously not the majority, but he should have been getting some run with the first team.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, against the first team defense.
Yes.
Where they're coming at him.
Yeah.
Because if he's not getting serious reps in practice, you're not learning much.
No, that's right.
Okay, and you gotta take advantage of every opportunity you get. If they're not giving him the opportunities, they're not teaching him anything.
No.
We're not teaching him how to be a quarterback in college. He was a very good high school quarterback. He was highly sought after by multiple schools.
Yeah,
coming out of high school.
Yeah,
and a lot of schools, he could have gone in freshman year and been a starter.
Yeah.
But instead, he goes to Texas and they bubble wrap him for 2 years.
Yeah, it's
and
kind
that's
of
where we're at now, where he's struggling.
Yeah.
Now that he's made the jump to being the guy.
Yes. maybe a bit of disservice on their side. So it's going to be interesting. This next game against Oklahoma is going to be one to watch for sure to see what Texas does in that situation. So let's talk about Pimp Down Vanderbilt.
Yes, Pimp is down at Vanderbilt,
but you know what? I kind of love the way that there's even that chance now that Vanderbilt could win. You know, they're not just kind of writing him off as, oh, it's Vanderbilt, don't worry about it, we're going to win this one easy. Especially when they go to, especially when they play Alabama, it's like, ooh, maybe they could win. So I kind of like that there's that kind of question in everybody's mind.
Last year broke the universe, the college football universe, because every year you would see Alabama playing Vanderbilt. You would look at that and go, that is a win for Alabama, and it's going to get ugly. Last year broke that. When Vanderbilt won, and you went into this year's game with Vanderbilt going to Tuscaloosa thinking, and this not being an acid trip thought, this being a legitimate thought, that you can see Vanderbilt beating Alabama in Tuscaloosa, and for a little while at least,
it kind of
that looked like it was. It looked like it could happen. Like Vanderbilt jumped out to a lead. They jumped out 7-0 early. Midway through the first, Bama responded. Vanderbilt took the lead back. Bama responded. They're tied at 14 at halftime, and then the second half happened. And
they kind of blew out in the end.
Wound up blowing out in the end.
Yeah.
Alabama scores 16 in the second half. They win by 16. The last touchdown would have had anybody who had bets on Vanderbilt breaking their TV.
Yes.
We were watching that. That was our YouTube game.
Yes.
Saturday. As I said in the stream, when Alabama scored that touchdown with 17 seconds left, that was a significant play to some.
Yeah. I think even the commentator said that as well. So.
Yeah, the commentators were discussing that as well. That was a significant play to some.
That's right.
Because that was Alabama's cover touchdown.
Yeah.
And because the line was either 12.5 or 13.5, and Bama wins by 16. But, for a half there at least, Vandy had the fight, and I mean their wounds were self-inflicted. They had a couple of drives, got into the red zone, and they turned the ball over.
Yes.
Vandy left a lot of points out there on the field.
Yes, a couple of silly penalties as well. It really does hurt your team.
The penalties don't help.
No. Frustration and everything else getting better of players does not help your team at all.
Yep. No, it definitely doesn't. But, Vandy's still 5-1. They're
still in the hunt. So they're still holding on. They're ranked 20 at the moment.
Yeah, they're still ranked. So, they only fell 4 spots.
Yep.
But, now we're looking at Alabama and going, oh, man, Bama's back.
Yes.
And after that week 1, that disaster in Tallahassee, we're thinking Bama's dead. Yeah. Bama is dead and buried, and all they've done is go out, beat up on a couple of weaklings.
Yep.
Then they went to Athens to beat the Bulldogs, and then they beat their nemesis from last year. They get their redemption.
Yes.
After Vandy field storms them last year in Nashville, they get their redemption, and they're back at 4-1, and they're a top 10 team.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
So no matter how much things appear to change, Alabama seems to find a way sometimes. Now,
that's it.
I'm gonna say this right now, and anybody listening, mark the tape. I don't care if I'm dead wrong about it. I'm going to say it right now. if you watched, Matt Mitchell watched SEC roll call, beware of Darth Mizzou.
That's right. That's who they're playing this week. So
because Darth Mizzou is going to take down the Crimson Tide on Saturday.
So we'll be in the front bar watching that one before we go live with our YouTube match.
Yeah, so, 11 a.m. kickoff in Como.
That's right.
Number 14 Missouri, number 8 Alabama. This is the measuring stick game for Missouri.
That's right.
Okay, Missouri, since the start of 2023, Missouri has been one of the best teams in the country. Yes. I think their record is now 26-5.
I think you're since the start of 2023. Oregon.
Yeah, Missouri has been one of the best teams the last 2+ years.
Yes,
in terms of record.
Yes.
The thing is, they don't have that big signature win.
Yes.
Against a team like Georgia. Yeah. Or a team like Alabama.
Yes.
The elites of the SEC.
Yes.
They don't have that massive signature win. This is that massive signature win that Missouri, that I am dead serious when I say this. I think Missouri can get it. This is their opportunity to get that one signature win.
Yeah.
That first one. And if they beat Bama Saturday, Missouri goes into the top 10 and they are legitimate national champion contenders.
Oof.
They will be inside the college playoff, the college football playoff projections. They will be inside the top 12.
Yeah.
And they will be thought of as a serious contender for a national championship if they beat Alabama Saturday.
Yeah.
And Missouri, their stats. They are number 3 in the country rushing the ball. They are average 292 yards per game on the ground. Alabama gives up about 155 a game on the ground.
Yeah.
So Missouri's strength against an Alabama weakness. Alabama's run defense ranked about 89th in the country in FBS. Yes. So I'm telling you, the Missouri game plan Saturday needs to be pound the rock some more, and when they get bored of pound the rock some more.
Yeah.
That should be the game plan.
Yes.
Missouri wins that game against Alabama Saturday if Perbula throws the ball about 15 times.
Yeah.
If he's just handed the ball off to those running backs, or if he's scrambling, if Missouri is running the ball and being successful all day long, Missouri wins that in a walk against Alabama.
It's going to be an interesting game. We will be in the front bar, as I said. I don't think we'll be able to show that game on YouTube. So I think Chris may be a little stressed watching that one.
Hey, we did miss. No. No matter, this is a huge game for Missouri.
Yes.
And yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
It will never outrank the stress of me watching a Missouri-Kansas game.
Well, yes, that's
because
true too. Yes.
But this is going to be as close as it gets for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Bama, they're good. But
yeah. They've definitely from that little hiccup.
I also remember how last year went for Alabama.
Yes.
They are gettable. They do have weaknesses.
Yep.
Like I said, that run defense, that should be the target for Missouri on Saturday. Run the ball right down their throat all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at Missouri's schedule at the moment, they've got some tough games coming up. So, but as you said, winnable games as well too. So, they've definitely got some winnable games coming up. Missouri, again, Missouri, they're playing an SEC schedule. Yeah.
They've got tough ones.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's just life in the SEC. I mean, they got Bama. Next week they're at Auburn. Following week they got to go to Nashville and play Vandy.
Yep.
That's not going to be an easy game unless Vandy, starts base planning and reverts to being Vandy.
Yeah.
Then they got A&M, number 5 in the country. Then 2 weeks after that they got Oklahoma, a trip to Norman.
Yes.
Against the number 6 team in the country, Oklahoma, which that could set up to be a potential preview of the SEC championship game, depending on how those two are sitting at that point in the season.
Yep.
And then they've also got a game against Mississippi State and a trip to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas at the end of the regular season.
Yep.
So they've got winnable games. They've got tough games.
Yep.
It's like every other SEC team. There's not a lot of easy weeks in the SEC.
Yeah, no, that's right.
For anybody.
Exactly right.
You want to win the Southeastern Conference, you got to run the gauntlet.
Yes.
Every contender has a gauntlet to
run. It's going to be interesting. As I said, we'll be in the front bar. If you want to come and join us for that, have a look at our Patreon. Stacey's put the link there in the chat. For the $10 tier, you can actually come and join us in the voice chat. You can join us all day in the front bar, and you can join us live on YouTube in our voice play as well for Patreon members there too. So, which is a good time to spend our weekend watching some footy live. I do show the game in the actual front bar. Obviously, I can't show it on YouTube because of copyright as well too. So the next one I was going to talk about was what was I going to say? The next one was Cincinnati.
Well, Cincinnati pulling their upset against Iowa State.
Yep.
Iowa State ranked 14th. That was, it wasn't the upset. It wasn't the break the upset meter that Penn State or Texas was.
No,
because Cincinnati was coming in as one of the hottest teams in the country, and their offense is electric. Yeah. Iowa State's defense couldn't stop them.
No, that's right.
And if you want to you get into a track meet with Cincinnati at your peril. And Iowa State doesn't have the horses.
Yeah.
To be getting into track meets. But nice win for Cincinnati, and they're not in the top 25 now, are they? But,
no. No, Iowa State is
first
just
team out.
Holding on, but
Iowa State fell down to 22.
Yes.
Cincinnati is actually first team out. They're 26.
Yeah, so I'm assuming if they win the next one, I'm assuming they'll be fairly close to getting into
they would probably climb in. Yeah. They actually climbed above Texas and Penn State. Cincinnati did.
Yes. So that just tells you the dire straits that both of those teams are in at the moment, Penn State and Texas. So.
Yep.
So and then
interestingly enough,
what were you
I didn't mention this. We only mentioned the AP poll.
Yeah.
The coaches poll, Penn State and Texas are still both in it, inside the top 25. The coaches poll.
Okay.
So it just tells you how different groups of people see those losses.
Yep.
The coaches didn't punish Texas and Penn State quite as much. Now, Penn State fell 16 spots. Texas fell 12 spots, but not enough to drop them all the way out of the poll on the coaches side.
On the coaches side.
Just an interesting little note there. I hadn't even noticed that before now.
So Miami. Retained the second spot in the rankings this week. Oregon obviously did have
they climbed. They climbed. They leapfrogged over Oregon back up to number 2.
Yep. So done away with Florida State.
That was an oddball of a game.
Yes.
Because 45 minutes into that game, at the end of the third quarter, that was a beatdown.
Yes.
It was 28-3 in favor of Miami in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And then it was like Miami just kind of went into autopilot.
Yeah.
They just flipped the autopilot on
and then Florida State
really didn't care.
19 points in the last quarter there. So
yeah, 2 touchdowns, a pair of 2-point conversions. They kick a field goal with 20 seconds left to get it to within 6.
Yep.
And a better onside kick, they might have had a shot at a miracle win.
I think 4 more minutes on the clock, they probably would have won that game. So
they
the way that
could have.
Miami was playing at the end.
Yeah, Miami just absolutely switched off in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
That raises an orange flag, at least for me, regarding Miami.
Yeah.
Because you cannot do that.
No.
Okay? Against, even against Florida State, Florida State made that game a lot more interesting than it should have been.
Yeah.
Miami needs the lesson that Mario Cristobal needs to make sure gets into the brains of every one of his players is you cannot switch off.
No.
Okay? You keep playing until this game is over.
Yes.
All right? That needs to be the lesson from the game for Miami because they got away with it this week. They got away with it against Florida State.
Yep.
Cannot do that in a playoff.
No.
You cannot do that in a playoff game. You cannot switch off.
No.
Because eventually you're going to switch off against the wrong team.
Yeah, that's right. And then
they're going to bite you.
Yep.
Or you're going to switch off too. You're going to switch off too early and not have a big enough lead, and the clock doesn't run out before you're losing.
Yeah. I was just looking at Carson Beck's stats here. 20 out of 27, 241 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yep.
He is really settling in at Miami, which is, I guess, fantastic to see that his gamble in the portal has really paid off for him. And at the moment, it's paying off for Miami as well, too. So.
Yeah, it seemed like he needed a fresh start.
Fresh team, fresh he needed, coaches, whatever else. So.
Yeah, just, needed to get out of Georgia, go somewhere else.
Yep.
And finish his college career. And, it has definitely worked out for him.
Yeah.
Now Miami's off this week. They got a Friday night game on October 17th against Louisville.
Yeah.
That has the potential to be a tricky game. Louisville, they just went to overtime Saturday against Virginia, against a nationally ranked Virginia team.
Yes.
That's not going to be an easy game. They got SMU coming up. They've got a trip to Dallas coming up 1st of November. In fact, that'll be the first time Miami plays outside the state of Florida.
Oh, yes.
When they go to Dallas.
Okay.
So,
that's right. They've played a lot of Florida teams. That's it.
Yeah, but they've had home games or games against other Florida schools. But that trip to Dallas against SMU November 1st, that'll be their first trip outside of Florida.
I mean, looking at their schedule on paper, it looks like Miami's going to pick up the wins for each of these games, but they're the games that turn out to be the ones that are close calls and trap games and everything else as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they keep the pressure up.
Yeah, that SMU game, that's probably going to be their hardest game of that's left. Maybe their end of season game at Pitt. That could be a tough one, having to go north.
Yes.
In late November.
Yes.
That might not be an easy game either.
No.
That might be more weather dependent than anything.
Yes.
For Miami going on the road up to Pitt. But very, very winnable schedule left for Miami.
Yeah.
12-0 is definitely a possibility.
I think Miami is definitely saying, look, you're not leaving us out of playoffs this year.
Yep, they're doing it. They've done everything so far right.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as they keep a 0 in that loss column, ain't nobody keeping them.
No, that's right. That's right. So, which is fantastic. So, before we get into our blockbusters for week 7, the look ahead, can I just take 60 seconds and I'll be back in just one moment, guys?
Absolutely.
Just give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. So let's jump into what we're looking at for next week. Week 7.
Yep.
To say there's a few good games is probably an understatement. Like last week, we had a few okay games. This week is going to be blockbusters.
Yeah, we've got good ones, and we've already mentioned one of them. We've already dove into Alabama, Missouri. We've dove somewhat into Oklahoma, Texas, which should have been the 4th ranked versus ranked game had Texas not completely laid an ostrich against Florida.
Right. That's right.
But we've dove into those games.
Yeah.
But our YouTube game.
Our YouTube game again is going to be Oregon, which is I'm loving it. I mean, I can't complain.
Yeah,
I can't complain.
I wasn't even going to try to convince Lyle that we need to be doing the Alabama-Missouri game on YouTube because I knew that would have been wasted breath. Because and honestly, the 3:30 Eastern game on CBS, it is a slightly better game.
Yes.
Taking my Tiger fan hat off and putting my neutral analyst hat on. Oregon, Indiana, 3:30 Eastern Saturday afternoon from Eugene is the better game.
Yes, I think it's
because that is an absolute blockbuster.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, believe ESPN because they're sending game day out for a game they won't be covering.
Yes. So game day is going to be
a game that will not be
Eugene.
On their airways. Yeah. College game days out there. It's number 3 Oregon, number 7 Indiana, and this is the. What were we saying? What were everybody saying last year about Indiana? Great record.
Yep.
Didn't beat anybody.
Yes.
Their 2 blockbuster games against Ohio State and Notre Dame, they lost.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
they beat up on the rest of their schedule. They've done the same for the most part this year, with the exception of that annihilation of Illinois.
Yeah, yes.
When they demolished Illinois 63-10.
Yes.
We will learn a lot about the Indiana Hoosiers on Saturday afternoon out
Yeah.
in Eugene.
Yeah.
Because this will be one of the sternest tests that Kirk Cignetti has faced as the head coach of Indiana.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to beat this Oregon Ducks team.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he pulls it off, Indiana is a legitimate contender for the national championship. If he pulls this one off.
Yes. Yes.
If Oregon wins this one, depending on how bad it is, it could be a close game. It could be an ugly game. If it's an ugly loss for Indiana, the whispers start up again of, okay, yeah, you're a nice story, but who have you beat?
Yes. Now, if Oregon beats Indiana, of course we will, at Eugene, does that then... I guess, because if we beat Penn State and we beat Indiana, 2 ranked teams, then do we go first or second? Do we even want to go first or second?
You would have 2 top 10 wins. At that point,
yes.
Oregon would have 2 top 10 wins against Indiana and Penn State.
Yeah.
Top 10 when at the time you beat them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I could make a case that Oregon could go number 1 in that instance, especially if it was a solid win by
if it's a solid win and it's a bit of a beatdown.
If they win and they control the game, I could make the argument of putting Oregon at number 1.
Yes.
At that point and having them jump Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, they've got a little bit of a tricky game. Okay.
Yeah.
They're on the road this week. They're going to Champaign.
Yes.
To take on number 17 Illinois. One loss Illinois. That is not a gimme game for Ohio State.
That's right.
That crowd in Champaign is going to be absolutely jacked up.
Yeah.
It is an 11 a.m. local time kickoff. It'll be going on at the exact same time that Alabama and Missouri's going on. So we'll have half an eye on that game in the front as well. During the first window.
Yes. Because apart from Texas, Ohio haven't beat another top 10 team. So, they haven't played another top 10 team.
Shall I refresh your memory of their schedule so far this year?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. First game,
Texas.
Home against Texas.
Yeah.
They win 14-7.
Yeah.
Since then they have beaten Grambling.
Yeah.
And the University of Ohio, or I guess Ohio University.
Yeah.
They went out to Seattle and beat Washington. That was a decent win for them.
Yeah.
And then they just beat the stuffing out of the Gophers.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yes.
All right.
So this will be their only second ranked team then, Illinois.
Yeah, this will be their sternest test since the Texas game.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is a road game. Now, looking at the rest of their schedule, they don't play another ranked team until they play Michigan.
Yes. Who is ranked?
I mean, they go to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They go to Wisconsin. They host Penn State, which would have been a ranked team had Penn State not been, had they not Penn Stated themselves.
Yes.
Then they're at Purdue.
Yes.
Then okay, maybe this one's a little bit of a tricky game. No, it's not. They're hosting UCLA.
I was looking at the schedule thinking, wait, what are you talking about? Yes. Oh, imagine if UCLA beat Ohio. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Could you imagine this? Just imagine an alternate universe where UCLA goes 2-10 and their wins are against Penn State and Ohio State.
They'll probably go, that's
There
it.
is
Take that. That's a successful season. Excellent.
that now that is not something that even the worst acid trip in the history of planet Earth could conjure up. I don't think.
Yes.
But
I think
theoretically possible.
I think Nico will have PTSD going back to the horseshoe, surely, after last
Oh
year.
that would be Nico's return to the horseshoe.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe
Yes.
it's Nico's redemption
Ooh, maybe
at the
Nico's
horseshoe.
revenge.
I'm trying to be glass half full guy here.
Yes.
I'm trying to be, and maybe that's Nico's redemption, going back to the horseshoe and beating Ohio State in what would probably be a lost season for UCLA. But
Yeah.
man, wouldn't that be something?
God.
And everybody would be looking at that going, how the hell did you do that?
That will be
Because it
one
would
for the
it would
books
make
for
no
sure.
sense.
That's it.
Yeah, it definitely would be.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be one of those that makes absolutely no sense.
Yes. It's gonna be on paper, Ohio State are definitely gonna win those games, but as you know, you're only as good as the day, so who knows? So,
yeah, and by the way, Ohio State this Saturday, they're a 14.5-point favorite at Illinois.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the gamblers are thinking, yeah, Ohio State's probably going to win this one, probably going to win it comfortably.
Yes.
I can't disagree with them because, again, Ohio State, they're giving up an average of 5 points per game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've played 5 games. They've given up 25 points in 5 games this year. Illinois is going to have to fight for every yard and every point. And at the same time, their defense is going to have to hang on tight to keep Julian Sayin from just, lighting the scoreboard up on it. I mean, if you thought that Indiana game got ugly, got out of hand, think of what Ohio State can do.
Yeah, I know.
With their offense.
Right.
When that Ohio State offense is humming, look out.
Yep. As I said, they're going to be hard to beat this year, Ohio.
Yep.
If I was a betting man, I'd probably put a $1 on them for winning. They're pretty tough this year. So, but again, I guess we haven't really, apart from Texas, we haven't really seen them do any ranks. So you never know. Illinois might come away with the win. Who knows?
Yep.
So,
and definitely Illinois is going to be psyched up for this one.
Oh yeah,
they're going to be ready. This is this is a game that they need.
Yeah.
To keep their playoff hopes alive because they lost their margin for error when they got blown out by Indiana.
Yeah.
And they came into the year, at one point they were a top 10 team.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got aspirations and they don't want to see them totally slip away. So they're going to be ready for this on Saturday. Now, do they have the talent to keep up with Ohio State for 4 quarters? I doubt it, but that's why you actually play the games.
Yes, that's it.
To find out.
That's it.
Because anything's possible in 1 3-hour period.
Yes. So apart from Ohio State, Illinois has got a fairly winnable schedule. So it's going to be interesting to see what the score is on that Ohio game for sure. So we have other games. Other games.
Yeah, the rest of their schedule, just real quick, Illinois, they're at Washington.
Yeah.
They host Rutgers, host Maryland, and
Northwestern.
host Northwestern in the season.
Yeah.
The rest of their schedule, very winnable. I mean, 10-2 is not out, definitely not out of the question for Illinois. And 10-2 could be enough to get them in, depending on the chaos that goes on around them.
Yes.
In the Big Ten and outside the Big Ten.
Yes. So with the way the weeks have been going, who knows who's going to be ranked in a couple of weeks as well too. So
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
you look at the
and
rankings
first,
now, and did you think you'd see Iowa State, Memphis, South Florida, and Florida State rounding off the top 25 rankings? You know, some of those teams I've never even heard of before this year, like Memphis. Like, I've never even seen them play. And then now they're 6-0. So it's like, okay.
Listen, I'm going back and I'm looking back at my week 4 playoff projection.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey,
didn't I have Memphis? Didn't I say Memphis? Hey, come on now. Didn't I have...
No. I had Memphis in my ranking.
Yes.
I had Memphis in my 12.
I couldn't pick between Memphis and Navy. So
yeah, both are good choices,
yes.
and they're both good. But I look at my playoff projections when we did them after week 4 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Miami 1, Georgia 2, Oklahoma 3. Georgia, they've fallen.
Yep.
Ohio State at 4, LSU at 5, Oregon at 6.
Yeah.
Then I had Texas Tech at 7, Penn State, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M, they're still there. Florida State, they're gone. Then Indiana and Memphis. So three of my 12, they're already kaput.
Yeah.
Way out of the playoff.
Yes. I was just looking at mine. I had Penn State at 6, and I had Texas at 11.
Yeah.
It's amazing what a couple of weeks can do to the rankings. You know, you lose a couple of games, you mess up a little bit, and it comes back to bite you. So
lose the wrong game, and it really hurts.
Yes. Lose to the, especially the losing to unranked. It really, really does not do your schedule any good. So.
Losses to ranked teams don't hurt nearly as much.
Yes.
But you lose to bad under 500 teams. You are properly punished.
Yes.
And the committee will do the committee will do the exact same thing when it happens.
Yes.
When the committee starts chiming in next month.
Yes. It's going to be the next couple of weeks are going to be interesting. There's a couple of teams with no losses. Obviously, Indiana, Oregon playing this week. One of those teams are going to come out with a loss. Touchwood, it's going to be Indiana, so it's going to be a good game. So in the front bar this week, we'll be there early this week. So we're going to watch the Alabama and Missouri game in the front bar. Remember, if you want to become part of that, check out our Patreon. From the $10 tier, you can get access to that as well too. So we'll be there all day.
Yeah,
we've
Lyle,
got the. Yep.
Hey, Lyle,
yes.
We may try this. I may see if you can access the radio calls.
Oh, okay.
The Missouri radio call for that game.
Okay, and have it playing
for the Alabama Missouri game. Instead of listening to the TV broadcast, listen to. I think Mike Kelly is still doing the games for Mizzou. He was doing the games 30 years ago when I worked at a Missouri Tiger affiliate.
Okay.
Back in the 90s.
Okay.
Listening to the Missouri call, listening to the hometown radio call of Missouri, that might be worth doing.
Yes, we can have that on with the game in the background. See how that works for us this time. So
could potentially do that.
Yes. So the YouTube game is going to be Oregon and Indiana. We'll be kicking off at I think it's 3:30 Central, 2:30 in Eastern.
2:30 Central, 3:30 Eastern. That's the CBS game.
Okay.
With Nessler and Danielson on the call for CBS.
Yeah.
Their Big Ten game of the week.
After that, we'll probably watch.
That's the blockbuster.
Yes. So after that, we'll probably maybe watch. There's a few games we'll probably skip around to: Auburn and Georgia, LSU and South Carolina. We might check out some of that as well. BYU is a team to watch this year as well. They're sitting
BYU
on 5-0 as well. So they're kind of coming up
5-0
the rankings
not
as well.
not only they're 5-0, they're ranked
Yep.
18th in the country,
Yep.
but they've got a tricky game Saturday night.
Yes.
They're going to Tucson to play Arizona.
Yes. So
That is Arizona's 4-1. So that is not a gimme game for BYU
for
right now.
BYU, yes.
That is one they cannot overlook. BYU can.
Yeah.
And another game from the Big 12. How about Arizona State 4-1 going to Utah?
Utah. Yep.
Arizona State's ranked 21st in the country.
Yep.
That's one of the late games. That's a 8:15 p.m. local time kickoff in Salt Lake City. So that's going to be the Big 12 after dark game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some
footy to watch. It's going to be a good week of football for sure. There's quite a few games. So
yeah, we have chaos potential in the evening window.
Yeah.
We don't have any ranked versus ranked, but Texas Tech and Kansas, that's a potential. That's a game that could be a Tech blowout or it could be an upset.
Yeah.
Just depends on which Kansas team shows up. Michigan's got a tricky trip out to LA. They got at 4-1, ranked 15th. They play at USC. And LSU against a South Carolina team that's been struggling, but
they have been struggling. But we saw this
let's
last
see
year
what South Carolina can do in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, we saw that last year with South Carolina, and then they came back strong at the end of the season. So,
yep.
But it's definitely going to be a good week of football. I am going to be here for it. We're going to be in the front bar. We're going to be on YouTube as well for all those plays. So make sure you come along, even if you just hang out for a little while too. So Chris, thank you very much again. A great show today. A lot to talk about from a seemingly nothing week.
Right.
A lot of redemption to the ridiculous. Very, very interesting scores around the board on our college football. So we'll be back again next week with some more wrap-up of college football for the week. Chris, again, thank you very much. I'll see you in the front bar nice and bright and early for our first game, and hopefully you'll be okay by the end of the game. So Alabama versus Missouri. It's gonna be a good game. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us here on 50 Yard Line. As I said, we'll be back again next week. Stay safe wherever you are, and come catch us for our weekly watch play, guys. We'll see you then.